The movie begins on a wedding day with Mafia boss Massimo and his wife celebrating. However, their celebration is interrupted by her friend, who leaves Massimo to get dressed and tells her that if she's jealous, she can join them next time. After he leaves, the girls sit on the sofa and discuss Laura's situation. Laura is contemplating telling Massimo that she lost their baby. She admits she thinks about telling him every day, but Massimo must never know that she lost the baby in the tunnel where she almost died. She believes that if she tells him, it will start a war. She tells her friend that it was the hardest decision she's ever made, and admits that she loves him. Later, Mafia boss Massimo and Laura get married. During their honeymoon, he gives her an ultimatum. She has 1 hour, then he gets to do whatever he wants. However, she defies him, asserting that she will do whatever she wants. She orders him to sit down, ties him to a chair, and forces him to watch as she pleasures herself. While her friend is with a Domenico Massimo friend. They celebrate their honeymoon in a luxurious manner. One day, Laura finds her friend and Domenico playing with a cake. Massimo excuses the girls so they can catch up in a different location because he and Domenico have work to do. He orders Domenico to wear a suit and then tells Laura that he has arranged a trip for her and her friend. However, she refuses, saying she is like a piece of furniture that he can move whenever he wants. Her friend tells her it's a good idea since she's forgotten what alcohol tastes like. Laura admits that Massimo is trying his best to arrange the trip for her. However, she sometimes feels like she has to mother him. This gives her friend an idea, and they act on it that night. The next morning, as they are waking up, he receives a phone call. He gets up quickly, saying it's too late and he has to leave. He admits that they are about to return to their normal lives. As he leaves, she goes to check on her friend but catches them in the middle of it. She leaves them, warning she will be back in 30 minutes, saying they should at least get dressed. Later, they leave on Laura Ferrari's for a trip, just the two of them, chatting on the beach. As they sit and talk, they discuss how they miss having alone time together. Soon, her friend sees the bodyguard and Massimo appear with Domenico, ordering them to leave. Massimo only speaks once. Laura looks at him, disturbed, but he leans in and tells her they are leaving without asking or questioning, and without even eating anything, they leave. Later, she confronts him, stating that initially, his kidnapping was difficult, and things were abnormal. However, she has now fallen in love with him and become his wife. She refuses to let him control her, saying that it feels like a prison and she misses challenges. She reminds him that she is not one of his soldiers. He attempts to explain that he is not controlling her, but rather keeping her safe, but she leaves him. The other day, she met Nacho, a gardener who had just been hired to work there. He mentioned that he needed to work and wouldn't take up her time. However, she replied that she didn't have any obligations and was just a wife. This made him appreciate her situation, and he compared her to a queen bee, suggesting she was great simply by doing nothing. He soon received a call, smiled at her, and then left. For Christmas, Massimo gives her her own clothing brand, explaining that he knows she enjoys working and this will support her passion. She's thrilled and acknowledges that it's difficult to gift someone who has everything, but promises to give him something he'll truly enjoy. Simultaneously, her friend receives a proposal from Domenico and accepts, leading to a celebration. Massimo is upset because Santa seems to have forgotten his gift. He asks Laura if Santa has forgotten him. Laura tells him to be patient. Later that night, Laura gives Massimo his gift by sending a location to his phone. She then reveals that she is his present. After thanking him for arranging her family's arrival, she asks if he ever misses his own family, since he only has Domenico and Mario. He admits that Miro chose to retire after the accident and he couldn't do anything about it, also mentioning he lost his right hand. She then tells him that sometimes she feels like he's lonely and that she's the only one he has, but he tells her he has a brother, which he never mentioned before. She becomes upset that he didn't tell her this earlier, but Massimo leaves without explaining anything about his brother. The next morning, Laura and her friend Olga arrive at Laura's clothing brand store. They spend the day checking all the clothes. Later, Laura admits she is annoyed by Massimo, but she doesn't want to talk about it with Olga or Massimo. That night at the party, she interrupted him mid-conversation, telling him he was calm and nice talking to others, but not with her. When his associate signaled to him, he excused himself and left. Later, her family joined her, and Laura mentioned that her parents had been married for almost 30 years. She confessed she wanted Massimo to look at her the way her father looked at her mother. However, her mother replied that marriage is just a compromise, smiling at her husband as she said it, before leaving to dance, leaving Laura alone on the dance floor. While walking to the middle, Laura saw Massimo with another woman and, shocked, went to look for him in the rooms. She searched, opened a room, went inside and found him applauding another girl. Shocked, she ran out of the hotel, where Nacho found her at the entrance. He asked if everything was all right, but she just told him to take her away from there. He drove her and stopped in the middle of nowhere. She couldn't believe what had just happened and wished she could leave and never come back. Nacho offered to arrange a plane ticket and take her himself. She called her mother and told her she was wrong about Massimo and that she wanted to get away after what she saw, then hung up and threw her phone. Then, she tells him he can take her anywhere he wants, and she gets in the car. The next day, Nacho prepares breakfast and invites her to eat. She notices girls' clothes and he explains that they belong to his sister, Amela, not a girlfriend. He clarifies that he doesn't have a girlfriend, and Amela will be back later, suggesting they might like each other. Then he tells her she is pregnant. Laura drops her glass upon hearing the news. He helps her sit down, looks at her with concern, and starts to clean up the broken glass. Back at Massimo's house, her mother is furious and slaps him. She demands to know where her daughter is and what he did to her, claiming her daughter left a message on her phone. The mother says she knew Massimo was a bad person from the start and that they are going to Poland to wait for her daughter there. She then leaves Massimo, who is furious, and tells Domenico to bring Davide and Tommaso to him immediately. While Laura is enjoying herself at the beach with Nacho, his pregnant sister Amela says that Nacho is a very good person and takes good care of her and her baby. Amela believes that one day he will settle down with a good girl like Laura. Laura is surprised and asks how Amela knows she is a good person since they just met. Laura explains that her life is hard right now and that Nacho works for her in the garden. This doesn't surprise Amela, since Nacho does so many things. Nacho comes back, takes Laura's drink, and drinks it while she looks at him in a different way. Back in Massimo, he is confronted by the girl who wants him. She tells him that only a Sicilian girl will understand him and know what he wants, not the Polish girl. She asks him to forget the past, be with her and create a great family. However, Massimo grabs her hand and tells her he knows she is behind everything and that she will pay the price for it before leaving her. Laura is sad that night and watching a movie with Nacho. She compliments him on how he treats her, admitting that he could be a good boyfriend. However, she then admits that she misses someone else. Nacho asks her why women fall in love with bad boys, and tells her that it's not her fault if a guy cheats on a girl like her, saying that the guy must be an idiot. He offers her a drink, and they stay up all night watching movies together. The other day, the secret was revealed. It was Massimo's twin brother. He told her that he had played his part and now it is her turn. She was furious, admitting she should have listened to her intuition. Soon, a message arrived telling them that she was not in Sicily, ruining their whole plan. Then, Massimo's twin executed him on the spot. Back in Massimo, they received a phone call confirming that she is with him in Iceland. They are awaiting a green light, as everything is ready. Her friend gets upset, wanting to know if they are talking about Laura. She demands to know, but Dominika tells her they are talking about business and she needs to calm down. Olga, being Polish, gets angry and leaves the two of them. That night, Laura clapped Nacho. But in the middle of the night, a thief broke into the house, and Nacho killed him instantly, shocking Laura. The next morning, she asked him about the previous night. He simply told her that someone had broken into his house and that the police would handle it. Laura, not believing him, questioned what kind of man he was, why he lived in such luxury, and why someone would break into his house. Nacho then admitted that his father is a wealthy man and that he was trying to live independently. He offered her food and entertainment, but Laura, still traumatized by the previous night, refused. He then offered to take her somewhere that would make her smile, and if she didn't smile, they would return. He takes her out in a luxury car. Meanwhile, Massimo receives a message that they failed to find her and that he survived the attack, making Massimo furious. Laura is enjoying herself, experiencing a different side of life without any rules, just fun on the beach. He treats her well, but she still misses Massimo. They flirt and play until sunset. The next day, they meet his sister. He leaves them alone to talk, and then kisses her. She appreciates this gesture, but soon realizes something is wrong. Massimo receives a video and orders his team to prepare. Meanwhile, she dreams of Nacho in her bed. When she wakes up, she finds him watching her. He asks if she was having a dream or an erotic dream. She tells him she dreams of him clapping her and then leaving her. Later, he admits that these are his desires, hoping to one day leave the asylum with a good girl like her. He then tells her that she will soon meet his father. She asks if he told his father anything stupid, like that he's going to marry her. However, Massimo is actually there with his father to meet her. Furious, she asks Nacho who he really is, and he reveals himself as Marcello Nacho Matos, the head of a mafia and her husband's rival. She finally understood that everything was a setup and he was never really her friend. However, he admitted that he genuinely had feelings for her. She accused him of being a good liar, trying to make her believe him. He insisted that he didn't fake everything, like teaching her how to surf and kiss. But she didn't believe him. She thought he was trying to anger her with his actions. She told him she was done with these types of men and gangster games and asked him to take her to the place. On the way, he told her to consider that she would be the head of the mafia boss, but she still didn't believe him. At the gate, the guards meet him and instruct him to go inside alone. The boss tells Massimo that he regrets meeting under these circumstances, but as a businessman, Massimo will understand that the stakes are high. Massimo, furious, claims his family had a non-aggression pact, which the boss violated. The boss admits this, but says Massimo was expanding too much, and some people didn't like his untouchable behavior. He mentions Massimo's father was wise. But Massimo isn't. Massimo lashes out, declaring he won't disrespect his father and that the boss is wrong. The boss claims Massimo's wife is still with them and he needs to calm down. Nacho enters and tells Massimo that they didn't force her to come. It was her choice. And she was having fun with his son at the beach. Now she is with his bodyguard, Miguel, but Nacho clarifies she isn't with Miguel anymore. Another bodyguard took her, leaving the two men to bond and go find her. In the warehouse, she encounters Massimo's twin and mistakes him for Massimo. She quickly realizes her error. Simultaneously, Massimo and Nacho hurry to locate her. Approaches her, stating he must eliminate her husband. Suddenly, a girl appears, pointing a gun at Laura. Massimo arrives just as she aims the gun, leading to a standoff with everyone pointing guns at each other. Massimo's brother confronts him for showing weakness, questioning if this girl is worth their father's entire empire. He then reveals the secret that his child died in an accident. Laura, distraught, rushes towards Massimo but is shot by the girl. Nacho shoots the girl. As Massimo's brother prepares to kill him, Massimo kills his brother first. Then, Nacho aims his gun at Massimo but refuses to pull the trigger, leaving the bleeding Laura and Massimo behind. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.